Hello paddlers! I'm in Madison, Wisconsin today. Not a lot of time for a big natural excursion, so I'm doing a little bit more of an urban paddle today. I'm at Olin Park, which is where Wingra Creek right here meets Lake Monona out there. Now the parking lot here on this busy Sunday is jammed full of boats with trailers, so there's a whole lot of boat traffic on the big water. That's not going to stop me. I prefer less traffic, but I'm going to wear my PFD and stay in the no wake zone if I hit the big water. But I think first I'm going to go up Wingra Creek and see a little bit of nature. It's like this weird little cove of nature hidden in rather a urban part of Madison. So let's get out there and see what the water's like today. This is John Nolan Drive. We're paddling under right now. Normally Wingra Creek is almost kind of stagnant, but we had a significant amount of rainfall 2 nights ago and I can really see the current moving today as a result of that. You used to be able to paddle Wingra Creek all the way up to Lake Wingra from Olin Park. But about 10 or 12 years ago they put a dam just beyond Lake Wingra, and so you can't really get there from here unless you take out in Portage, which I'm not a real big fan of. Lake Wingra is a popular place to rent kayaks and paddle boards. To me, Lake Wingra doesn't have a lot of appeal because it's so very small and it's almost August, so by this time of the year that lake is really choked off with weeds. If I was heading here specifically with doing the creek in mind, I may have taken my 14-foot boat. This 17-foot sea kayak is definitely overkill on any creek. Turning around here just for a minute to take another look at the stone arch bridge we just passed through. This is a Madison landmark. It was built in 1880 to replace a previous railroad bridge. It's got 2 sets of tracks on there. One of them hasn't been used in a very, very long time, but both of them are actually out of service at this time. I would look up some more history on that, but the current is dragging me back, so time to pick up my paddle. I have a new GoPro mount, which I'm trying out for the first time. Starting to notice that my style of paddling was really compromised, having the GoPro attached to the cockpit. GoPro being a little too close to my body was not allowing me to really get that full extension and get the speed I wanted, so this is a big improvement. So if you're familiar with Madison and its city streets, you probably drive South Park Street all the time and barely even notice that you're driving over Wingra Creek. Fish Hatchery Road, named for the DNR's fish hatchery that's south of Highway 12 and 18. I want to say it was 2017. But the water was so high in this creek, I could barely fit underneath this bridge. Hello.
Upstream?
Nah, not too bad. When you get to, if you come back underneath that stone bridge, that old railroad bridge, that's a little bit more challenging, but not too bad. The UW Arboretum on our left is 1,200 acres. I feel like these urban heron are a little bit more tolerant of my presence. Ah, crap. This road will take you all the way through the Arboretum. Here we are at Wingra Dam. popular fishing spot for urban fishermen. I just looked it up, and Wingra Dam was built in 2009. A little bit longer ago than I thought, but time gets faster when you're old. If you come the right time of the year, you can see muskie jumping over the dam. I don't fish, so I don't know what time of the year that is, but it seems like I read about it every insert proper time of year. Look at that thing sitting right on a lily pad, almost like it was placed there. Looks like it's still good. Ew, it's quite slimy. But that looks like some usable gear. It's a ballpoint pen from the premier Best Western Park Hotel on Carroll Street, downtown. It's a fine hotel. I would have expected a better pen. I can see what it is, but unfortunately I can't reach it. Oh wow, what are the chances? I got it to land on my paddle. Oh, another piece of plastic. Saved from Wingra Creek. There's the bottle. Sharpie. Had a little creek like this. I usually try to just go from start to finish one way as fast as I can, and then on my way back I stop to look and do some underwater stuff with the GoPro, just look at the banks and see what kind of nature stuff I can find. And I was changing my GoPro battery when I frightened heron, probably the same heron I saw earlier. You sure don't feel like you're in the middle of the city in this stretch of the creek. Hello. Hey. I'm approaching the launch where I set out to go up Wingra Creek. Now, I love Wingra Creek. It's a nice little natural oasis in the middle of the city, but from Olin Park up to the dam is only 2 miles. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that a 4-mile paddle is not even worth me getting my boat wet. So I'm gonna put my PFD on. I'm gonna go out onto the big water and hit Monona Bay or go up at the terrace. I'm about to enter a different world up here. And just a very short paddle. This is how close Lake Wingra is to downtown Madison. But I have a previous video where I'm paddling up to Monona Terrace, right over there, if you want to learn a little bit more about that. See, I do put on my PFD when I'm on the open water. Even with the PFD on the open water, it's a Sunday and the lake is really busy right now. I'm cutting straight across the open water to get to like the Monona Terrace area downtown, but I'm going to follow the shoreline back because it's still just a little bit out of my comfort zone. Just being out here when I know people have probably been on their boats drinking all day. That's another reason to stay in the no wake zone. Have to duck a little bit into Monona Bay. Monona Bay is always so much more calm than Lake Monona. You see a lot of paddlers in here. Most of those renters are renting from Brittingham boats coming up here on the right. And they now have a fleet of very sparkly paddle boats. It's pretty late in the day. I'm surprised they're even still open, but normally there's a lot more paddlers. This is Brittingham Park we're approaching here. Beautiful calm day on Monona Bay. I was going under this railroad bridge once, and a spider descended right on my face, in between my face and my sunglasses. I was surprised I didn't capsize. It took me by surprise. Back out on the big water on Lake Monona, less than a mile from Olin Park where I launched. Hi. Well, that's where I get off. Madison is such a great place to live if you're a paddler. It's a city on an isthmus, and you don't need to travel to paddle if you're looking for open water or nature. You literally don't have to leave the city limits. Launching at Olin Park is like 2 paddles in one. I got to enjoy the nature of the creek, and then I got to enjoy some of the open water, and I was able to go from 4 miles just in the creek to about 8.5 miles total in this paddle. One of the fortunate things about launching here at Olin Park is this parking situation right here. You've seen me in the past lob my boat up on top of the car from a flat surface, but being able to park right next to the curb like this, with that little bit of lift in the lawn, watch how easy this is. Piece of cake. As always, thanks for watching. You never know where the water's going to take me to next, so please subscribe so you don't miss my next adventures. Bye-bye.